Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take you through how to draw a basketball on Procreate for a t-shirt design. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start off by selecting a canvas for our art, and we need to select the 4500 by 5400 pixels. This is the right size for any t-shirt design as far as putting it on like Merch by Amazon or one of those kind of print by demand sites. Then after you do that, you can take a picture that you already have and import it onto your page so that you can go buy something. In this case, I have a basketball that I had already drawn up prior to this, and I put it up at the top left hand corner so that I have something to go by while I'm doing this, just so that I can see maybe where those black lines are going to be in the basketball and those sort of things. I can also use those collars from that image and put them straight into my new image. So if you just hold down on the collar, it'll pop up, and then you can slide it down and fill it in. You'll still have that line that goes around the ball, so you want to take the orange down again and put it over top of that line to fill that line in. So your whole ball, that whole circle, is completely orange. After you do that, you can clean it up a little bit. There still might be some black left over from that black outline. You can erase a little bit around the outside edges if it looks off any kind of way. But for the most part, the circle should be pretty good. And right here, I noticed that I messed up. And this is why I left this on here, so that I could emphasize the layers. I made my image on the same layer that I have my picture on that top left hand corner. I don't need both of them on that same layer because I'm going to take that picture off later on. So I needed to go back and redo all of that again. Also, another thing that I want to bring up now, since we're back to that part, is that when you create your circle, when you draw in your circle, leave your pencil down onto the tablet for a few seconds, and it will make basically a perfect circle or an ellipse shape for you. Now up at the top there, you'll see that it says ellipse or circle. Just click on circle and it'll basically give you a perfect circle. For basketball, that's what we're going to need. So we'll choose that, and then we'll get our drawing back to where we wanted it to be, and then we will put in our shadow. So we're going to lay in a shadow underneath, and for that, what we're going to do is we're going to go up and we're going to click on that color that we already have, that orange that we already have. We're going to go down to our scale, and we're going to drop that down a little bit so that it's going towards the black. That'll give us the same color but with a different tone. We'll use that to do the shadow. Then we're going to go back up top again. We're going to click on that color again, and we're going to take it the other way to the white. That'll give us our highlight for the other side of the ball. So now our ball is going to look more three-dimensional and more realistic. After that, we are going to start laying in our lines. But before we start laying in our lines, we need to create a new layer. That way we can separate the two. And if we need to go back in and add highlights or anything like that, we can change it easier. So put your lines in there for your ball. And if you go outside the ball line, then you can go back in and erase. Another thing that I want to mention that I didn't mention before with the ball before we put the lines in, to create those shadows and highlights, you can click on your ball image, and then after you click on that, you can hit what is called alpha lock. That will lock you in on just the ball itself. So when you start to do your shadows and your highlights, you will not be able to go outside of that area. It's a very helpful tool to use. After you get done with your line work, then you can put in your text. For this is going to be a t-shirt design, so I wanted to put ballin' in there. As I put ballin' in there, and then what I did was I made the text as an outline so that it's outlined in black, and then I filled that text in with the same color that I used for the basketball. And then I grabbed the cropping tool and I chose the warp and warped it, and I used an advanced mesh so that I could have more points on the cropping tool to have more opportunities to adjust it around the basketball. After that, I'm going to put some shadow underneath of the basketball. My terms I was using earlier for shadowing and whatever, I should have been saying shading for the ball itself. Underneath of the ball is a shadow. So in the shadow, I put a light gray, and then I put a pretty dark gray, almost a black. The black goes real close underneath the ball because that's closer to the ball and closer to the floor. It would be a darker shadow. And then it gets lighter as you move away from the ball. So after I put the shadow on there, the black and the gray, I go up to the use the tool to blur it somewhat. So I use one of the blurring tools. I feel like you could use probably any one that you wanted to. And then I blurred it basically as much as possible. And I like that blurring effect. It makes the shadow look more realistic, I believe. And that is how you can draw a basketball on Procreate. Then you can take that image and save it as a PNG file. Take that, go back up to your pages and turn off the background. All that will be left is your basketball and your text. Save that as a PNG to a file, and then take it over to whatever platform you're using and create your shirt. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you join me next time. I'll have something different for you.